You're listening to The Best of Perry Gauthier, where we remember our friend and leader who was taken from us in this life in December of 2020. It is our hope that his memory lives on in the hundreds and thousands of people who he touched both in and outside of capitals in this country and around the world. We will be sharing interviews that Perry did for radio and television throughout the following weeks. Perry was always prepared to share the good news of Christ and God's love for politicians and people serving in the political realm. This week's memory of Perry is from an interview he did with the Epoch Times, talking about government being established by God to punish evil and reward the common good.
Yeah, so when is war right? And I think we'd have to start by saying that a couple of principles. Number one, that governing authority is established by God. Romans 13:1 gives not a description, but a prescription for human government. And it says this, that submit yourselves to governing authorities, for there is no authority except has been established by God, because governments are to punish evil and to promote good. Verse 4 of Romans 13 goes on to say, and government bears not the sword, which is lethal power. Government bears not the sword for nothing. So do you want to have no fear of government? Do what is right, and you'll have praise from the same. So there's some key theology there, that governments are established by God, and they're prescribed to punish evil and to do the right thing. Now, governments don't always do that. So you get tyrannical governments, and people say, what about Hitler? And I say, he proves, by the exception, the rule. The rule is God gives rulers to do the right thing, generally speaking, cross-culture, affected by a religious moral system. Governments are to rule the culture and keep general control over the culture, punishing the worst evils, even if it means lethal power, the sword, and then rewarding for the common weal or the commonwealth or the common good of the culture. So generally speaking, government is a moralizing agency using force and law to do it. So that's one principle. Governments are established by God.
We hope you are enjoying The Best of Perry as much as we are, and are excited to bring you another one next week where he talks about what happens when the institution of the state interferes with the institutions of commerce and the church.